Hey guys, it's Suzette from Anewyoricanthing Kitchen. Welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about making pasteles made out of yucca, which I used to hate making because it's just the cutting and the chopping of yucca is very difficult. Well, I found a great product and it's already done for you. This is a game changer, guys. I never liked to make those pasteles because they were just more difficult. So this is a great product. I'm gonna show you how to get started with this. Okay, so what you're gonna need is, I'm doing 4 pounds. Okay, so this is 4 pounds of the yucca masa, already ground up for you. You're going to need sofrito. Okay, some sofrito. You're gonna need some achote. Now, if you do not have achote or know how to make achote, you can use the packets, the sazon packets. You can do that. A little easier. Then we have the pork. Okay, so this is cubed up pork. It's already done, seasoned up, and you're gonna need some drippings from the pork to add to the masa. So I'm using a pork loin, okay, and you're gonna cut it up in little pieces. So I already started. I'm making a big batch, but if you wanted to make about, 20 pasteles, 22 pasteles for you and your family, I would do like 1 pernil. I had it cut up. I used the boneless one. But you can use the one with the bone, whatever you want. I had the butcher cut it for me in like chunks, but you need to cut it smaller, okay? So you want to cut all your meat in small pieces, okay? And 1 pernil would be enough for you guys to make, a nice batch for your family. So what you want to do is cut your pernil in small pieces, okay? They should not be big because it's going in the masa, and it shouldn't be, big hunks. You want to really cut it up nice and fine. Like I said, I'm making a big batch. So this is 2 pernils in this pot. Okay, so if you guys are making a smaller batch, cut it down. So I cook this on high. So when you're making your pork, you want to add enough water for whatever amount of meat you're making to cover the meat. So I'm cooking the meat on high, and I'm gonna add enough water to kind of cover it. Okay, I'm gonna add a little bit more, but other liquid goes in here. So, okay, that's pretty much covering my meat. I make homemade adobo, which you can find at Anewyoricanthing.com. My cookbook has the recipe to make your own adobo. If you're not making your own adobo, you can use the Goya brand or whatever brands you find out there. However, remember, they are a lot more salty. So, because we're gonna add salt to this as well, because the meat needs to have flavor. The other thing I'm gonna do is I have homemade achote. Again, you can use the packets. Okay, so I'm just putting in about 1/2 cup of homemade achote. The other important ingredients you need in your meat, of course, is sofrito. Again, this is homemade sofrito. If you would like to know how to make this is again in my cookbook. However, I do have a YouTube channel on how to make homemade sofrito. Please, I beg of you, do not use the store-bought stuff. It's not gonna give you the right flavor. So if you have to cut up onions, peppers, and garlic, and that's all you have, I would prefer you to do that because you're just gonna get more flavor. So this is probably, I'm gonna go with probably about 1 cup of sofrito because you want it to have some flavor. You're gonna cover this up. I did not add the salt yet, if you haven't noticed, because I want this to kind of cook down a little bit. And when you're making the meat, you're not cooking it all the way through. You just wanna bring this to a boil. Okay, you may have to add more adobo. Sofrito is good here. We have enough achote. Again, you can use the packets. And you just want to bring this to a boil. You want to keep mixing it so it kind of cooks evenly. I have a lot of meat in here, so this is going to take a minute. Okay, and you're just going to cook it until it's nicely cooked. Add some salt. You can taste the juice from this, and make sure it's got enough seasoning, enough salt, and that's your meat for your pasteles. So let's get started, guys. So I'm doing 4 pounds. It's gonna be super easy. Just gonna empty out your packets. Look at that. This would have taken me an hour cutting and slicing and chopping just to do 4 pounds. So we have the 2 pounds in here, and we're gonna start putting some flavor in here. So we have achote. Now I have probably 3 tablespoons in here. So you're gonna put about 3 tablespoons of your sofrito, okay? I have the drippings of the pork, which when you're making the pork, there is achote in there, which is the red stuff. If you're not gonna do achote, you can use sazon, like I said, and add it to your meat. You can use a packet of sazon, easier. And you're just going to add a little at a time because consistency is everything when you're making pasteles. So you wanna go really slow because if you put too much, then you have to, play with it a little too much. So you wanna just go slowly. I also add milk, or you can use evaporated milk. I'm just gonna use milk today. You can do evaporated milk if you prefer. Some people, that's how they do it, that's fine. It's not gonna change the flavor, it's still milk. If you're using your packet, obviously, it's a dry ingredient. It's not gonna give you more liquid content. So with that being said, you're gonna have to add either more milk, more drippings from the meat, something like that, because the achote is a liquid and it's adding to that. This is how you want your masa to look. It's sliding off your spoon, so you know it's gonna be soft. Now, the masa should have salt. Not a lot of salt, because if you know pasteles, you add salt to the water, and when you're cooking them. And the water, when you're cooking pasteles, the water should be salty like spaghetti water. So I'm gonna add a little bit of salt. Don't go crazy, I use kosher salt, so it's a little stronger. So you wanna add your salt, and you wanna taste as you go. You should taste some salt, but it should not be extremely salty. And that's it, guys. So that's step 1. And now we can go ahead to wrapping them in the paper. And I'll show you how to do that. Okay, guys, so before we start wrapping, I have a special guest today, my brother, Jose Luis Feliciano Jr. Come on in.
Hey, guys.
He's not the real Jose Feliciano. It's Fernando.
Fernando's back because this is the best time of the year.
Yes.
This is when it all goes down, and I love this right here. My favorite. Let's get started.
Let's get started. So he's gonna do the wrapping. Let's do this, Fernando.
All right.
We're gonna do the yucca.
Yo. Not that kind of wrapping?
No, not that kind of wrapping.
I was a little confused.
Different party.
Different party.
All right, guys, so pay attention. Like, people wrap it differently. This is the way we do it.
So you want to make sure you put enough achote, which I learned because I got yelled at.
Yes.
Because I didn't put enough. And it stuck to the paper.
And that's no bueno. All right, so you're gonna put about 1.5 scoops of the masa.
And you want to go ahead and add your meat.
Don't be cheap.
Again, I got yelled at for that too. And here we go, begin wrapping.
There's number 1.
And that's a done data.
That's a done data. So we go ahead and package them by 2s. Okay? So we're gonna do another one, Fernando.
Sure.
Let's do one more. Let's do a 2-pack here. Now, like I said, there are different methods of wrapping a pastel. Okay, you can YouTube it. You'll see probably 3 different variations. This is the way I do it. I just find it easier. And that's the way I was taught. I can't even do it any other way at this point. So we have the 2, all right? And you wanna make sure that they're even, all right? You don't want one bigger than the other. It's not gonna wrap well, all right? So you wanna get your string, also a science. So if you've never done pasteles before, okay? It might take you a few tries. It looks really simple, and trust me, my son could tell you because he's now on the wrapping duty. And it's not as easy as it looks. So it takes a little bit of science. And again, if you watch different people making pasteles, they're gonna have different ways of wrapping it as well, right? So you wanna tie that up. I usually loop it around here to make sure it's nice and tight. And when you're making your pasteles, what you wanna do, you don't want them to sit around because your achote will leak. So as soon as you make your pastel, you wanna stick it in a freezer and just keep going. There's your pasteles.
When do we get to eat them? That's what I'm concerned about. That's the only thing I really want.
Well, don't worry about it. It's gonna take about an hour because they're fresh. Now,
An
if
hour?
they're frozen.
Yeah, I ain't got time like
an
that.
hour. If they're frozen, it's gonna take 2 hours. Salty water.
Yeah,
like
2
spaghetti.
hours now?
2 hours.
Wow.
If it's frozen. See you guys soon. The finished product is here. We got 2 yucca. He's waiting here. You see Fernando? He's waiting here. Waiting to get his hands on some of this deliciousness.
Oh, you know I am.
Yes. Okay, the worst part about making pasteles besides making them is taking them out of the paper. So I usually cut the ends, okay? I'm not gonna lie, but this smells delicious.
I can't wait. I've been waiting all day.
He has been waiting all day. It will slide out. Just slide that onto the plate. Yes, that's everything. Let's see, Fernando.
Can't wait.
Let's make it happen.
Here we go, folks. I'm going in.
It's going in.
You have no idea how good this really is. You gotta get yourself some. Oh my God.
Well, guys, I'm glad you joined me today at Anewyoricanthing Kitchen. Happy cooking!